Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. The Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Zachy and Brian are talking about movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio.
Welcome to Movie Film. This is episode 165, brought to you by Mr. Boy Productions. My name is Zachy Hassan, and I'm here with my best pal, Brian Hall.
Hey, how's it going, Zachy?
It's going. What's up with you?
A lot. It's been really busy lately. But yeah, I was looking at the calendar when we were about to record. I was like, oh man, we were kind of due last week, so we were supposed to have something out, and it just life has been busy.
Life tends to do that.
Yeah, but all good stuff, and happy to be here now.
Yeah, it's Brian. It's an interesting situation I'm dealing with right now, and it's a little personal, but we have. I consider everybody who listens a friend, and certainly you're a friend. And when I woke up a couple days ago, the left side of my face was completely numb.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, and basically I tried rinsing my mouth out, and it wasn't working.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I went to the emergency room, and obviously, anytime you have numbness, the first thought is, "Oh my gosh, am I having a stroke?" And I don't realize it.
Yeah.
And I was not having a stroke, but I am suffering from a condition called Bell's palsy.
Wow. Okay.
And so, literally, the entire left side of my face is virtually immobile.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
this is the first I'm hearing of this.
Yeah, so it's been you might hear a slight lag in the way I'm talking, and it's because I when I smile, I look like Two-Face.
Well, so what happens from here?
Well, it's not a permanent condition, thankfully, but it is a situation that's going to take a while to resolve itself, anywhere from several weeks to several months before I'm fully back to where I would like to be.
Oh wow! So it's something that it's almost like it's got a clutch, and it's a clutch that slowly releases over time.
That's actually a pretty good metaphor for it. Yeah, essentially, there's some kind of nerve damage on the left side of my face, so my eyes are not blinking in unison. I have to. You know how you just blink instinctually? Yeah. Well, my left eye is not doing that, so I actually have to force my left eye to blink. And I mean, it's the damnedest thing. It's really interesting because, my job when I'm not doing this, I'm talking to students, and I was telling my wife yesterday, I was like, I've been teaching for 15 years almost. I've never felt self-conscious until right now, because the act of speaking is requiring an effort that I've never had to put into it. And so it's been an education, let's put it that way.
Wow. Well, I'm like processing right now, but I first of all, I'm glad you're all right, and also you seem to be in good spirits.
Well, so, I'm trying to step outside myself and just sort of acclimate to the experience as it's happening. Because the truth is that if you got brought to it, you can get through it. One hopes, and so this is one of those things where it's like, well, I feel very grateful that my professional life is centered around speaking and enunciating and things like that, and so a lot of those lessons I think I've internalized to the point where my speech isn't impacted too broadly. But again, it's an education.
Yeah. Well, I would have never known just listening to you right now.
Well, I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, that any conscious effort was going into speaking right now.
Well, those of you listening, if you do hear a slight lag in the way I talk, please bear with me, because this is, again, I'm about 36 hours into this, and I'm to some extent I'm having to reteach my mouth how to articulate.
Oh wow!
If you look at me when I'm speaking, I look like when Sylvester Stallone talks. You know, and I mean, I don't even say that in a joking way because
No, I
actually
understand.
his speech is a result of having dealt with Bell's palsy as a child.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so
Yeah. I thought you meant sort of like the lip curl, like where one mouth sort of is in one. Yeah.
Well, that's a result of Bell's palsy.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Wow, man. Well,
sorry, I didn't mean to start the show out in this like really.
No. Not, well, I really appreciate you.
This is like a very special movie film. You know?
Yeah. Well,
On a special movie film, Zachy has a problem. You know? And then it's like Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Dad, I just want to be able to keep speaking. You know.
right.
Tim Allen hugs me. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you have to keep awkwardly inserting jokes just because it is a 30-minute comedy.
Yeah.
You remember that? That was such an uncomfortable episode.
It was extremely uncomfortable, yeah. But here we are. You know what, folks, if nothing else, I hope you realize how important you all are to us, because to me, I don't want to miss out on doing this show. And, you know, if that means having to exercise my mouth, so be it.
Sure.
But yeah, what have you been consuming?
Yeah, well, in the more frivolous side of life here, but the things that keep us distracted and entertained. Well, just with these past couple of weeks, like I said, you know, just between work and travel and things like that, I haven't caught a lot, but I've caught up a bit on some things, and I finally saw that Netflix Black Mirror movie Bandersnatch. So it's did you?
I haven't watched it, but I've been hearing my students talking about it, and that's sort of fascinating in and of itself.
Oh, that is kind of interesting. Yeah, I it was one of those things that I had meant to catch because I do like Black Mirror, but I just sort of missed it, and I was kind of okay with missing it. But then the opportunity arose this weekend. There's something. It feels like you're doing something because it's interactive as well, so it's almost like playing a game, you know. But you're also watching a film, and it's you know. I actually, before I even saw it, I sort of felt what I thought I would feel, which was that it was a really interesting experiment, but not an overall satisfying entertainment experience.
So it's a gimmick more than an actual movie.
I wouldn't even call it a gimmick. I think they just haven't perfected how to best employ the idea of choice while you're watching a story, because I think along the way they start with really mundane choices, like you choose which cereal the character will have in the morning just to kind of acclimate you to the idea. And what's interesting is, you know, you have these video games like Beyond Two Souls, I think it was called, and things like that, where you could make these decisions, and whatever decision you made affected the entire outcome of your game. So like you and I could play the same game and we would have entirely different endings. Different side characters would still be alive and not alive in different games. But this one is a bit more like a choose your own adventure book where you can hit dead ends. And the movie, instead of just saying that's your ending, the movie's more like, yeah, that wasn't quite right. And then it like rewinds you a little bit and makes you go back and choose the other option. Which is, when I think about it, I mean, that is what those books were like in a way. So, you know, I mean, there really is only like one or two true conclusions. So it's not like the whole narrative fractures based on your choices. Like it kind of forces you into some choices, which you know, it depends on your interest and patience, I think, with that. Like for me, I was just interested in the experience, so I didn't mind. I mean, I was frustrated because I wanted to just keep going, but like, for example, there's one part where it wants you get aggravated. So it's like, throw your teacup across the room or break your computer. And I was like, well, you know, I mean, it's his computer. He needs a computer he's designing a video game, so, you know, throw the teacup or whatever. Okay. But then it was like, that isn't what the movie wanted me to do. So then it like kind of rewound me, and it's like, well, all right.
That seems like a cheat to me.
A little bit. And I mean, free will actually factors into the narrative as well. And there's some pretty funny, clever twists toward the end to that end. So, I mean, I'm glad I did it. I enjoyed it. And I just think for the very first version of this across like a broad platform, not a bad outing per se, but I imagine they're going to learn from this, and down the line we're going to get like the perfected, you know, choose your own adventure sort of experience down the line.
Gotcha.
So, you know, it was interesting. But then I caught the movie Tully. Do you remember Tully with Charlize Theron.
With Charlize Theron, right?
Jason Reitman, written by Diablo Cody. I was a big fan of what was that movie? Young Adult.
Yes.
Also Diablo Cody and Jason Reitman. And this feels like it's in the same sort of wheelhouse, where it's kind of a dramedy, really grounded, nothing sensational happening, more just these characters and sort of the things they're going through. And the IMDb description is: a struggling mother of 3 forms an unexpected bond with the night nanny hired to help with her newborn baby. So basically, this woman will come into their house and take care of their baby while the couple sleeps, so they can have the right amount of sleep and feel a little more rested in the morning. And it's really difficult to talk about this movie without sort of letting on what it's really about. But I kind of went into it assuming I would enjoy it, and I did. So I don't know how it'll play for everybody, or if some people feel cheated, or if I'm not sure exactly how it's going to play for everyone. But I think people looking for like a rental of like a nice character film, that's got like a really just real worldy ish sort of feel to it. Like, I mean, the whole way that it begins, this premise of this family just trying to figure out how to find sanity in their day. I mean, it's not about anything bigger than that. And I thought the conclusion to it all was really satisfying and actually very, very sweet. Like a nice sort of look and thought about couples and raising children together.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I enjoyed this. I think people might like it. I think it's on HBO now, which is how I saw it. And then lastly, I saw Minding the Gap, which is a documentary. It's actually up for Best Documentary Feature Length this year at the Oscars. And the only reason I had heard of this was this podcast I listened to. One of the guys forced, because of some bet they had, the winner got to pick a movie to force on everybody, and he forced this one. And everybody was saying that they were so glad that he did. And I was like, well, all right, let's check this out. And basically, it's about it takes place in Rockford, Illinois, Zachy.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, so it's about this group of friends, and they all are skateboarders. And so one of them has been filming them his whole life, right? And so he has all this footage from when they were, tweens, basically. But then as they get older, life gets more complicated, and sometimes your friends become, villains. And sometimes your friends become, just get a little lost, and it takes a little bit longer for them to acclimate into adulthood. And it's a pretty naked and revealing look at the people that it focuses on, considering that it is made by one of their best friends.
Wow.
So it's, yeah, I mean, you see one guy kind of grow. They all come from a place of abuse, sadly. And so it's sort of like, what has that done to them? And then what sort of people do they choose to be? How does that manifest as they grow up? And do they internalize it? Do they bring that out on others? And it was pretty gripping, pretty heavy, honestly. But I enjoyed it. I kind of gravitate toward these sort of skateboarder stories for some reason. I think I've always wished I was like a skateboarder. Ever since I was a kid, I always wish I had learned how to skateboard really well. So whenever I see it, I fall for it. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. But there's one particular moment where you're with this guy, and he's going through something really difficult, and he's crying, and the camera's, I mean, it has to be on Zoom, but it feels like it's right in his face, and I almost like wanted to look away. Like, I felt like I shouldn't be in this moment with him. I wanted to give him space. Huh. But it also brought me in, and I felt like I really wanted to hug this person. And then there's a moment where he goes, you know what? I got to get out of here. And then it does this hard cut to this beautiful shot of him skateboarding through the street. And it just looks like he's flying. And it just, I feel like movies have tried to do that, where they try to give you that sense of what a character's feeling, like they feel free in this moment. And I feel like this is one of that cut and that change was one of the best examples I've ever seen, where I was like, that's why he skates. Like, that's where he's free.
That's amazing.
So that's what I've checked out. Anything you?
Well, I just watched Lego Movie 2, the second part.
How's that?
Well, I mean, this is going to sound cliched, but if you liked the first Lego movie, I expect you will like this one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
And I did.
It's more of the same.
Yep. Sure.
I'm trying to think. I mean, this is now the fourth, right? Fourth Lego movie that we've gotten in 5 years.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the Ninjago. Ninjago, yeah.
Which everybody...
Ninjago Unchained.
Ninjago Unchained, yeah. It's, I mean, honestly, I think it's very good. Personally, I liked the first one a lot. I don't know that this necessarily matches that, because I think that had the benefit of being something completely new.
Right.
But I think that this second movie is it carries the story forward. It is actually set 5 years later, and I think it does. Without spoiling anything, what I appreciate is that you saw the first Lego movie, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, the meta narrative of the Lego movie is that it's about a little boy trying to connect with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I like that this one carries that meta narrative forward, but now it's about that boy getting older and having a little sister.
Okay.
And so that's the overarching story that this movie exists within.
Okay.
So it's about our Lego world, which is now apocalyptic and dark and whatnot, and it's reflective of a boy who's gotten older now and wants everything to be hardcore and grim and gritty.
That's clever. I like that.
Right? And they're invaded by aliens from the Sistar system. You know. And I'll tell you what I liked about it is that the meta narrative really works as a commentary on sort of what we expect of our pop culture artifacts. You know, I mean, we have a tendency where as we get older, we want to hang on to the pop culture we loved, but we want it to grow up with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So, it needs to be hardcore. It needs, and it's like, and certain things are not meant to be that. They're meant to be a thing that represents us in a specific moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I liked that. I liked that Chris Miller and Phil Lord were clearly making that statement. I think it's subtle enough where I don't think it hits you over the head. But I mean, there's something nice in there.
Yeah, that was what was so enjoyable about the first one, is it was really funny, but it also felt like it had a heart to it and something it wanted, like you say, a meta sort of narrative or commentary going on that was a lot of fun and satisfying and made it feel like a richer film for it. So it's nice to hear that that's carried over in a very different way, instead of repeating itself.
Yeah, it's definitely not doing the same thing. I like that they are carrying it forward. And it's kind of crazy because, I mean, 5 years in the life of a kid is a long time.
Right.
And so, I mean, the previous one came out in 2014. Here we are 5 years later. I mean, the kids who watched that first movie have done a lot of growing since then. So in many ways, it's a little bit like Toy Story and Toy Story 2. Because I think that those are about 5 years apart too, right?
I don't recall, actually. Probably about that. But I mean, at least the span of those films,
they were, Toy Story 2 is 2000. Right now.
Oh, wow.
Right, so it is. It's I almost now that I think about it, I'm fairly certain that factored in, like the way Toy Story 2 took into account the fact that the audience would be older.
That's really, really clever.
Yeah.
This is one that I remember anticipating the first one, and I'd kind of forgotten about this one.
It does feel like, I mean, I'm curious. I have no idea, but I'm curious if this one will have the same kind of impact that the first one did.
Yeah, because I remember, I mean, obviously these movies are first aimed at kids, right. But I remember people our age were almost equally looking forward to it. And when I went and saw it, I went to a 21 and over screening, and it was just packed. I mean, it was completely full of adults that wanted to go see this Lego movie. So I wonder if that will happen again.
Yeah, I'm curious. So that'll be something that we can probably discuss in our next episode.
Yeah.
Another thing I just started watching this is and I'm extremely behind the 8 ball on this is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever seen this show?
Yes. And the thing is I've had so many people tell me that, like, you, Brian Hall, will love this show. And I'm like, I know. I believe you. And I've seen a couple episodes, and they're hysterical. And for some reason, I just haven't, like, completely jumped on the train.
My wife watched the pilot, and it stars Andy Samberg. And she's after 5 minutes of watching Andy Samberg, she's like, "That's Brian." Now, granted, she sees you everywhere. She sees you in her soup, so I don't know what that's all about. But he is very much a Brian Hall-esque character. I feel uniquely positioned to be able to say that he is very Brian Hall-esque, and it's a great show. I mean, it is uproariously funny.
Yeah.
So again, and again, this is like you talking about Pretty Woman last episode. I'm like, hey, there's this show. It's really, I mean, it's in its 6th season, so it's not like people haven't sampled the goods, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a good show.
Yeah, that'd be a good binge series. I feel like, the 22-minute comedy.
I think you owe it to yourself, Brian.
All right.
Well. I also just this past week, in preparation for our impending commentary track, I rewatched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Ah, excellent!
I know. I watched it with my boys, and it ended, and my 10-year-old said, "Can we watch the second one?" So to me, that goes in the win column.
That's a win. Yeah, man, that's about the age I saw it, about 9, something like that.
Well, it came out in '89, right? So yeah, I had just turned. No, I was about to turn. Well, no, because I saw it in like '90, so I had just turned 10.
Yeah,
that means yeah,
that's great. Yeah, I cannot wait to talk through that movie.
That is going to be a fun one. I'm excited. Yeah. So I'm gonna hold my thoughts on that until a few weeks from now.
Yeah.
We do have a couple of listener letters that I wanted to share with you before we take a quick break. So this is a new review that is up on iTunes, and this is from Adam Lance Hendrickson. And Adam says, "It's always exciting to find people you've never met, spoken to, or otherwise, and realize how much in common you have with them in a particular subject. This one happens to be movies. Zachy and Brian not only talk about movies, they make you feel like you're part of the conversation. They open up about their personal lives, whether it be family or work on Puppy Dog Pals. They have a joie de vivre that is reflected in their interests, reviews, and conversations. I can't recommend this podcast enough. I can't recommend this podcast enough." Sorry, I stopped reading too soon.
I just snorted.
So thank you for that, Adam. That was awesome.
My gosh. Yeah, thank you so much.
And then this is another comment that I got on Twitter, and this is from Marshall Perry, who says, "Loving the Movie Film Podcast. You guys have epic chemistry, and I'm constantly giggly while listening, prompting my wife to ask, 'What's so funny?'"
Oh, that makes me so happy. Yeah. Both of these, that's so nice to hear. I really, man, yeah. It's really nice hearing back and just, you broadcast this out there and you have no idea where it lands, and hearing these things really means a lot.
It really does, and when too much time goes by, and I'm sure Brian, I can speak on your behalf. We start getting a little fidgety.
It's funny, we do it almost psychically. It's like a spidey sense, and I will be feeling it, and I still haven't even realized it in the moment, but I will feel it, and then I'll get a text that day from Zachy about like, record. I'm like, yeah, I was feeling it too.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So thank you both of you guys for those, and folks, if you have any listener letters you'd like to send us, please moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com is the address to do that. We also have one new trailer to look at, so let's talk about this. This is Brian, Fast and Furious presents The Bald and Beautiful.
Yeah, right. That should have been like the tag or whatever.
I'm so disappointed that they didn't call it that. But this is Hobbs and Shaw, otherwise known as F you, Vin Diesel.
Yeah, right.
It should have been F and F you, Vin Diesel. Hobbs and Shaw. So this is the spin-off from the Fast and Furious series. This would technically be the 9th Fast and Furious movie. I mean,
yeah.
Right. So let's play some of the audio from this, and we'll talk about it.
You have to work together.
No way.
This job requires stealth. Look at you. I'm trying to save the world, which, for the record, will be my 4th time. Because I'm really good at it.
All right. So, Hobbs and Shaw, this is directed by David Leitch, who did Deadpool 2.
Right. And John Wick. Right?
Yes, that's right.
John Wick. And then did he do... He did Atomic Blonde?
Yes.
Yes, which I really liked. I thought that was kind of underrated.
Yeah, I like that movie too. Yeah, nobody really talks about it.
Yeah.
So this one, well, I mean, I don't know, man.
I gotta be honest, I did not know that David Leitch directed this, and that has just put it up a notch for me.
Oh,
because
interesting. Okay.
I like his action. Yeah, the movie itself, I was sort of... I didn't know how to feel about it. Like,
well, Brian, you know what's funny is that the Fast and Furious movies just so slowly turned into just a straight up superhero franchise that we didn't even realize it.
Exactly that. And so I'm sort of like, am I still on board with this, or am I looking at it at a distance? Like, what happened?
Yeah,
you know. But then at the same time, when I have that little bit of a reaction, I mean, like, it looks fun.
It's just funny to me that back in 2001, this all started with Paul Walker trying to infiltrate a gang of street racers / highway robbers.
Yeah,
and then
right.
and then 18 years later, Idris Elba is like, yeah, I'm bulletproof and I have super strength, and we're just like, all right, that's cool.
It's so true,
right? I mean, literally, like if a Transformer showed up in the next one, we wouldn't blink.
No, yeah. If the car, at the end, it's like, Hobbs, I've got something I need to tell you. His car, you'd be like, oh, here we go, Hobbs and Shaw 2, like Fast and Furious presents. And it's funny too that I don't think she was in the trailer, but Helen Mirren is in this.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah.
I kind of love that because she's the mom. She's Jason Statham's mom.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. This is probably going to be like one of those. I think I feel this way toward rock movies. I'm realizing, like Rampage and Skyscraper. I'm sort of, I don't know why. I mean, I like him just fine, but I have this sort of, oh boy, kind of a thing when I see these things. But then when I watch them, I always end up being like, well, that was fun.
Well, it is kind of interesting that this ultimately it's spun out of obviously the Hobbs character's popularity, but it also just as much spun out of Dwayne Johnson wanting nothing to do with Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Right, and we've talked about it on the show before. Those two have their little weird, feud going on between them, and so I mean, he said as much. I think that he's not going to be in the 9th Fast and Furious movie. He's doing this one instead.
Yeah, and then I mean, I guess for Vin Diesel, like, why not? I mean, if Fast and Furious is on the title, I got to assume he's getting some money for this.
That's actually a good question because I mean, he doesn't have ownership stake in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Right? I mean, I would assume he makes back end on the ones he stars in.
But I wonder if he has some sort of like producer credit.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think that he has producer credit on the ones he appears in.
See, I'm looking it up. I don't know if IMDb,
because I don't see him listed in the credits for this.
Oh no! Oh, see, I'm surprised. I believe it, but I'm surprised.
I'm not surprised because I believe he's like a producer on the ones he's in.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's probably a largely ceremonial title,
It's got to be, but he acts like he's the author.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like he so that's why I thought maybe he might even be like, well, this whole Bring the Rock in was my idea, so the character's kind of mine anyway, and
I mean, Vin Diesel is a fascinating character to me because he's created this mythology around himself, but it's like, is he as much of a draw as he thinks he is?
I don't know how we feel, but maybe. I mean, for the people that come to these things and like still watch them religiously.
I mean, I think let me put it this way: Hobbs and Shaw, I think, will probably do well. I think it's going to be a hit.
Yeah.
However, will Fast 9 do as well without Dwayne Johnson in it?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think, sadly, I mean, Paul Walker, when he left, his absence is felt. And I feel like they just can't have the exact same magic that they did. So I think inevitably they're just going to be a little bit different. And also, I mean, as popular as they can be, I mean, how many times can you keep
I mean,
keep doing this and having them be like $1 billion movies.
Well, supposedly the last two are going to be Justin Lin again,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're done. Supposedly, right?
Okay.
9 and 10, and then that's it. And I think if that is in fact the plan, I think that's smart.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. I mean, I think it's smart to try to expand it out. I mean, you could conceivably get a whole series of these Hobbs and Shaw movies.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a way to keep it going.
Although, I've said this before. This guy, Deckard Shaw, he's a bad guy.
I know. They got to figure that out.
He killed Han.
Yep.
And it's like he's part of the gang, and I'm like, nobody talks. I said this before, Brian. Same reason Kylo Ren can't be redeemed, the same reason Deckard Shaw can't be redeemed. When you kill Han, you don't come back from that.
Whoa, that works surprisingly well.
It really does. Well, especially because Han's last name is Solo, like the Fast and Furious one. I mean,
it is.
Yeah, it's like Seoul, like Korea, Seoul. Oh,
is it really?
Yeah, that's true.
I did not know that.
Now you know.
If you don't know, now you know.
So that is coming out August of this year, and I expect it will be a smash hit.
Yeah.
While we ponder how big of a smash hit, why don't we take a little break and we'll come back. And we're back, and we have some headlines. And just to start things off, a little bit of sad news, unfortunately. Dick Miller has passed away.
Yeah, another one of those, if you saw him, you're like, that guy.
He's probably the most famous that guy in Hollywood history. Certainly one of the most prolific.
Yeah. What is that? 182 credits to his name.
Amazing. So for those, I mean, if you're trying to think of a face to put with the name, he was Mr. Futterman in Gremlins and Gremlins 2. That, to me, is the movie I think of him most readily.
Ditto.
But he's also in The Terminator, the first Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy who Schwarzenegger goes to his gun shop and he's like, Uzi 9mm. I was like 5, and that was the first time I heard the word Uzi 9mm, by the way. But then he puts the live ammo and he shoots Dick Miller.
Yeah.
But he was like a Joe Dante's guy.
Yes.
He was in,
I
like,
think that's why
every Joe Dante movie he's in.
Yeah. So, man, was he 90?
90 years old. And I mean, again, just it's, we always talk about character actors and how integral they are. And you look at somebody like Dick Miller, and he was not known for one role, but he was known for being just one of those people who made made the movie work. He held it together just by his presence.
Yeah. And I think about this a lot with entertainment people, but I've said this since college. I can't wait to retire. And I just sort of like, I'm like amazed with his, I mean, like Clint Eastwood is 90, right? And he just directed The Mule, which made, by the way, did you know this? Domestically, that movie made over $100 million.
Isn't that bananas?
Yeah. So, I mean, these people just work and work and work and work. Clearly it's, labor of love.
Well, what is the saying, right? If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's certainly Dick Miller. Again, one of those faces that you just know. And there was a documentary about him called That Guy, Dick Miller.
Oh, that's funny.
Which I have not seen, but it's certainly something I'm in the mood to check out now.
Yeah.
So R.I.P. Dick Miller, the glue. That holds so many movies together. Speaking of holding movies together, that's what publicists are trying to do now. Because one of our favorite personalities, Liam Neeson, stepped in it in a big way.
Liam Neeson's.
This is a bit of an awkward situation, unfortunately.
Yeah, Liam, I mean, you're promoting your movie. What happened?
Well, I was trying to explain how revenge can turn the soul black. And so I tried to illustrate that example by showing what a huge racist I was at one time in my life.
Oh, Liam.
I didn't think this would go this way.
Yeah. Well, you do realize, you were talking to a journalist.
Admittedly, I did think about that.
Right. Well, oh wow! Actually, Liam, I am literally I just Googled you, and I saw that the red carpet for your next movie has been canceled.
Yeah, jeez. So Liam Neeson is starring in a new movie called Cold Pursuit, which is about a father whose son is. I mean, it's a Liam Neeson.
Early year movie.
Early year, yeah.
I would say normally January, but this is February now.
This is February, but it's in that wheelhouse. And so he's a father whose son is killed as a result of drug addiction, I believe. And so, he's as he's wont to do in these movies, Liam Neeson is out for revenge. So he's in a junket, and a journalist asks him, "Have you ever felt, the kind of rage that this character does?" And for whatever reason. Jeez. I shouldn't laugh about this, Brian, but this...
I know. It's like it's somewhere like this weird middle ground because it's like the absurdity of it, but at the same time, the things he's saying are really troubling.
Yes, I mean this is the problem: is that I think in his mind, Liam Neeson was making a point about the darkness that people can potentially carry inside of them.
Right.
So the context here is that he was interviewed by The Independent, and oh boy, did he ever step in? I'm trying to find the exact quote. Yeah, he says he had just. This was many years ago. This is like 40 years ago. So he was like 20, right, Brian?
Yeah. No. Yeah, sorry.
Did I?
No, I was agree. I'll admit, I was actually nodding my head, which I realized does not translate well to this medium.
I'm like, did I lose you?
No, sorry.
So it says here, yeah. So a friend of his had been assaulted, and right. I'm not going to do the voice because it's serious what he's saying. He says she handled the situation of the rape in the most extraordinary way, but my immediate reaction was, I asked, did she know who it was? No. What color were they? She said it was a black person. I went up and down areas with a Kosh, which is a gun, hoping I'd be approached by somebody. I'm ashamed to say that, and I did it for maybe a week, hoping some, Neeson gestures, air quotes with his fingers, black bastard would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, so that I could, another pause, kill him. Neeson clearly knows what he's saying and how shocking it is, how appalling. It took me a week, maybe a week and a half to go through that. She would say, where are you going? And I would say, I'm just going out for a walk, What's wrong? No, nothing's wrong. He deliberately withholds details to protect the identity of the victim. It was horrible, horrible. When I think back that I did that, he says, and I've never admitted that, and I'm saying it to a journalist, God forbid. So, yes.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I would like to believe I understand what he's saying. And that he's saying this was a dark moment, and this is something when I thought something awful, and I realized how wrong it was, and what a thing. But it just came out very, awkwardly.
It occurs to me that the fact that this is almost offering too much information, because I think that if he merely told the story in the context of I wanted revenge on the person who did it.
Yes.
I was hoping I'd bump into that person. I think by framing it in a, and he did this deliberately, and I mean it's indicative of his thinking at the time. He was ready to hang this act on an entire race.
Yes.
And that's deeply troubling.
Yep.
Now he acknowledges that was wrong, so I mean we should, that's a good thing clearly. But the fact that he did think that is hugely problematic.
Yeah. And like you said, also, I mean, he didn't have to include all those details, and if that's something he has moved past, drudging them back up for people to think about and, have their own feelings on or relate to. Maybe some people are, hanging their own feelings on it, being like, well, Liam Neeson felt this way, and it supports my feeling. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a lot of problems that can kind of come from a statement like that.
And especially because of the icon that Liam Neeson is, right? He is sort of the quintessential badass.
Right. Right.
And I mean, it's again, I'm trying to step gingerly around this because I don't want to make light of the seriousness of what was said, but there is a comedic side to this, which is probably the publicist in the room.
I thought of that.
As he's saying this, like seeing their career flashing before their eyes.
I thought that very thing, picturing the publicist in the room.
Just like you picture the publicist like, no, as they're like lunging towards the table.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's reached the point where Lionsgate felt the need to cancel the red carpet.
Yeah, I didn't know. I literally just saw that.
So that's kind of crazy. So that means that this thing is potentially spiraling out of hand.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, again, he is saying something about feelings he had many, many years ago, but I feel like he needed to follow that up, with more information about how he realizes how wrong that is. And it seems like he's on that tour now. I'm looking now. I see, says he has horrible feelings. Or says his horrible feelings shocked him, or whatever. Denies he's racist. Da 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 da. But it just feels like that. If he shouldn't have said those things in the first place, but it feels like all the things he's saying now should have happened in that same interview. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean it's really I look at this from a couple different perspectives because I can appreciate him trying to illustrate the personal growth that he's been on.
Yes.
And I appreciate that this was able to emerge in the context of a junket. And certainly as somebody who's been in my share of junkets, I always appreciate it when an actor, when a creative is able to really delve into something. Mm-hmm. Because junkets just don't allow for that. I think, whenever a situation like this happens, it makes it even less likely that creative people are going to open up in this way. And
sure.
So you get these freeze-dried answers that are
right.
the same. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But again, it's like, did he just not think this through?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I haven't looked into it, but I would be curious to hear follow-up statements from him. I mean, I like Liam Neeson. I want to continue liking Liam Neeson,
Well, I mean, he was on Good Morning America just today or yesterday, trying to fix this. And I mean, I don't know. It's the specific, the racial element. If it was just him saying, I wanted to enact violence on the person who did it, I don't think people would be treating it the same way. But because the thought I had is that this idea, I want to find a person of color and kill them.
Any, yeah.
I mean, that's how is that different from George Zimmerman?
Right.
So
yeah, it wasn't the perpetrator. Yeah, that's the disturbing part.
That's the very disturbing part, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess I applaud him for being able to acknowledge this horrible period, but he may have opened a kind of a Pandora's box.
Yep. And we'll see what happens.
I mean, when you think about it, like, this is something he's dealing with right now. It's not all that together, all that different from the PR kerfuffle that happened with James Gunn, with the Guardians of the Galaxy situation, where I mean the difference being that this is something Liam Neeson said right now, but James Gunn got fired for something he said like 10 years ago, which really wasn't that long ago.
Right.
And obviously that's a story that's been ongoing about who's going to direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But meanwhile, James Gunn has been scooped up by DC and Warner Brothers.
Yeah, for a whole other gang to hang out with.
I mean, Suicide Squad 2 is now going to be a James Gunn joint, which is ironic to me because Suicide Squad 1 felt like a response to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's fine. I hadn't thought of it that way. Yeah.
Right?
That'll be interesting because I feel like apparently this isn't going to be a sequel.
Which, I mean, what does that even mean,
I know. So you wonder, I mean, are they going to keep the same cast? Because, I mean, especially you have this Harley Quinn movie coming up, right?
I don't see how you do this and not have Harley Quinn in it.
Oh, agreed. And Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn because that
exactly. So
seems to be,
if Harley Quinn is in it, then it's a sequel.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know what his approach is going to be, but
Here's my prediction: you get Viola Davis back
yeah.
as Amanda Waller, and you get Margot Robbie back. Maybe you get Will Smith back.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, the whole premise is such that these characters are disposable.
Yeah. This is something I could see looking forward to, only because I thought the first Suicide Squad had a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Just from the trailers and everything, and they got me, eager to see it. And then we saw it, and it wasn't great. But I still, even though it wasn't good, afterwards I kept having this lingering feeling like I wanted to like it, just because I loved the concept. And it just, it just didn't come together. So it's kind of cool to see another stab taken at this concept.
This sequel feels like something nobody's really asking for, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some people. I mean, it did pretty well, didn't it?
It did well, but and I liked it. I think I liked it more than most people. But it doesn't feel like something that once it ended, people are like, oh, I can't wait for part 2.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
not seeing the same sort of response as like an Aquaman or something.
Yeah, Aquaman, by the way, let's pause and appreciate the fact that it is now the highest grossing DC movie ever.
Yeah.
So more than any Batman movie, more than any Superman movie, Aquaman.
It's
amazing.
King of the DC universe.
Who'd have thunk, right?
Yep.
I think if anything, the Aquaman success has increased the likelihood of a lot of these movies that we were kind of writing off. Like I think the Flash movie that we were joking about a few months ago, I think that's more likely to happen now.
Yeah, it's funny that it was like, the Flash movie we were joking about.
Right.
But yeah, no, you're right. I think you're right.
I think another Superman with Henry Cavill is probably more likely now, to be honest, because I think, there's whatever formula they stumbled on with Aquaman seems to have worked. So I could see that being, to some extent, a template that they follow. And I don't mean template in terms of tonally, but I mean sort of letting the filmmakers that they choose come in and kind of do their thing rather than being beholden stylistically to the Man of Steel, Batman v Superman visual approach.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's also telling in, I guess I'm reading this from the Hollywood Reporter, but it says when Warner's was courting Gunn, they gave him the opportunity to pick his property to work with, which included Superman. Yeah. So they're obviously thinking Superman at the moment, but we'll see what that looks like.
So, I mean, currently filming is The Birds of Prey. And the full title is Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Right.
And this is directed by Kathy Yan. So this is basically Margot Robbie's star vehicle. So, I mean, she's like the Deadpool of the DC universe. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's smart. I mean, think about it. I mean, she's a popular actress. She's an acclaimed actress. She's liked in this role. It makes sense that they're putting her wherever they can. Mm-hmm. Suicide Squad 2 is an interesting one because Gavin O'Connor was attached at one time. He did The Accountant.
Yes, The Accountant.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a shame actually because Gavin O'Connor's a good director. I did not like The Accountant, but I could have seen that version, but that got swept under the rug and they're giving it to James Gunn. Not about you, but you say, oh, James Gunn is doing Suicide Squad. I can imagine what that looks like in my head.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Which is, I'm sure, what Warner Brothers is looking for. Now, here's my question: Is this going to prove out to be a mistake on Disney's part that they shouldn't have been so quick to pull the trigger on cutting him loose?
I mean, that will be answered when Guardians 3 comes out and we like it or not, right?
Yeah, well, and it is still happening.
Yeah.
Guardians 3. Chris Pratt has assured us it is happening.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's no way it doesn't, right? But I don't know who would want to take over the reins.
Well, who's not taking over the reins is Taika Waititi, which everyone kind of assumed.
Yes, I saw that.
And it's funny because even when everyone started saying, I was like, well, he's not. Why would he do that? Why would he want to set himself up for that comparison? And that's exactly what he said. He gave a quote to Deadline. He says, for me, those are James Gunn's films. Going into something like that with his stamp all over his films would be like going into someone's house and saying, hey, I'm your new dad, and this is how we make peanut butter sandwiches now.
Yeah. And for someone like him who has, his own sort of established voice, like why would you want to try to imitate someone else's?
Yeah, why? Right. Now, I've been saying for a while, and I'm very curious if this will happen, but my money is on Bradley Cooper being the guy who directs Guardians 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's already part of the Guardians family. He's an acclaimed director now.
Mm-hmm.
I think the cast would be on board with him.
Right. I wonder how much he's involved on set. Like, do they have a camaraderie with him?
That's a good question.
We know Gunn's his brother.
Sean Gunn is Rocket on set.
Yeah.
And he performs all of Rocket's dialogue.
Right.
That's actually a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I give props to Bradley Cooper for bringing it when he's Rocket.
Oh yeah.
Like he's doing a voice, and if you watch video of him performing, he's like fully getting in character. So it feels like it's more than just a paycheck to him. But regardless, I mean, if you're Marvel, it would make sense to sign somebody like him.
No, totally. That makes a lot of sense.
Because there's going to be a lot of anticipation for whatever he does next. And the Guardians, I mean, just the Marvel Studios machine is too big to fail.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, he's in the family, so it's harder to get mad at him.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Dave Bautista is like, F everybody. I want,
Yeah.
Now, speaking of movies in the DC universe, another piece of news that is now official. It's officially official, although it's been sort of, in the offing for a while, which is that Ben Affleck is now done as Batman.
Yeah, a whole other thing here with Matt Reeves.
Yeah, and we know this because there was an article on Deadline where it said that Warner Brothers has dated the Batman, the Matt Reeves Batman movie for 2021, I think, right?
Yeah, June 25th, 2021.
Wow, back to June, a Batman movie in June.
I actually thought that when I was seeing June something, I was like, ooh. That reminds me, it takes me all the way back to 89, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, and like every Batman movie through The Dark Knight, I think, was in June.
Wow.
But the headline of the article said, Ben Affleck will be passing the torch, something like that, torching the bridge behind him, and Affleck basically he shared that on Twitter and just said like looking forward to the movie. So essentially, he's confirming that he's out.
Yeah, and it's easy to maybe think like he's like, I'm out. That's just dropping off. But I mean, he was invested at one point. He wrote a whole script.
Yeah,
that they decided not to do. So I mean, he wasn't like he just gave up on Batman.
I'm actually wondering. We were talking about Vin Diesel. I'm wondering if Affleck will retain some kind of a producer credit.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question.
It
seems like Reeves wanted this to be like a whole new thing. Like he wasn't going to jump on to anyone else's.
Well, I mean, I have to imagine if you're Matt Reeves, you saw everything Zack Snyder went through, and you basically want to wall yourself off from any of that.
Right.
So, to some extent, he's probably because remember they were like he was doing the hard sell with them because remember they wanted him and then it wasn't going to happen and then they came back around. I have to imagine he asked for something comparable to what Chris Nolan got. I don't know about money, but I mean in terms of autonomy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Totally.
And so the Matt, and by the way, I mean we're Matt Reeves fans here on this show. Obviously, I think those last two Planet of the Apes movies bought him a lot of geek cred.
Yep.
And I mean, just a couple months ago, I rewatched War for the Planet of the Apes, and you just imagine a Batman movie in that style. With his cinematic approach, I mean, it can't help but get you excited,
Yeah. Yeah.
But his idea is to go back to a Batman who's younger, not young, like not right out the gate, but earlier in his career, and then it would be something where he's fighting off multiple villains from the Rogues Gallery.
Yep. And a real heavy emphasis on the whole detective element.
Which, it's true, has never really been foregrounded. I would say to some extent we got it in The Dark Knight. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, that is something that the movies tend to ignore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a new Batman. I'm always going to be excited. Now, obviously, the casting question immediately is who's going to be the next Batman. I think I think right away people were like, "Oh, Idris Elba," and I'm like, "Is he like just the name that we?" Like he's older than
Which
Ben
would be
Affleck.
kind of cool, though. That Hobbs and Shaw thing, I think, got a lot of people fired up about that concept.
I think a black Batman I would be totally on board for, except that this is meant to exist within the world of those other movies.
Right.
So that wouldn't necessarily work. Now, I've been saying Armie Hammer.
Uh-huh.
And George Miller cast Armie Hammer as Batman for that Justice League movie that never got made.
Right, yeah.
Justice League Mortal. So I'm like, he's like 32.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect age. He physically resembles Affleck. They don't look like brothers, but I mean, he looks like he could be the same guy, older. I'm like, give Armie his chance.
Mm-hmm.
It takes an army, Brian.
I know. I was thinking strong army, his way in. Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, I think Armie Hammer would be good. I also wouldn't mind someone that I'm not as familiar with, like a Christian Bale scenario where I wasn't super familiar with him, so he was an established, reputable actor, but I didn't have him attached to anything else in my mind.
Sure.
But I saw Warner's just saying they're not going to go with any unknowns. Not that Bale was unknown, but
yeah. So if we think of somebody with roughly Christian Bale's level of visibility, Armie Hammer fits right in with that.
yeah, I know
He's my
Jake
pick.
Gyllenhaal comes up a lot too.
Jake Gyllenhaal is. I can't imagine Jake Gyllenhaal would do it.
No, agreed, and I don't really see him as Bruce Wayne, if I'm being honest.
No, I'm the same way. Yeah, and I agree with you. Like I think there's a certain refined look that, I mean, this sounds bad. Jake Gyllenhaal is like ruggedly handsome.
No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't know. Armie's my guy, man.
Yeah. All right.
That's
Well,
it.
let's see. Maybe.
I predicted Christian Bale several years before he was cast as Batman. So I'm gonna place my bet on Armie Hammer.
Yeah. Either way, I'm excited to see a whole new iteration of Batman.
I will never not be excited for a Batman movie. Alternatively, Brian, here's what I'd also be down for: Andy Serkis in a motion capture suit.
playing Batman.
Playing just completely like it's created in CG, but it's Andy Serkis under there.
Yeah, man, sign me up.
Because Andy could do it.
Which by the way, I didn't realize Alita Battle Angel.
Yes.
I thought she was a human actress that had been sort of enhanced, with like the eyes and all that sort of thing. I didn't realize she was 100% CG.
I did not know that until you just told me that this second.
Yeah, I just saw like a little side-by-side video of the actress in her motion capture suit in comparison to the character in the film, and I was like, well, I'll be darned.
So from head to toe, she's digital.
That's my understanding. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but yeah.
Yeah. That makes me more interested in seeing the movie, to be honest.
Leaps and bounds.
Yeah, I mean,
Cameron?
I know it's amazing. I've been hot and cold on that movie, but I'm hearing stuff about it that has me cautiously intrigued.
I 100% agree. I didn't really have much interest at all. Like the trailers weren't even doing anything for me. Knowing Cameron's involved makes me like keep my pinky, in the pie a little bit. But hearing these, the reviews and the responses being pretty much like I'd say middle to positive, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like what are we, like early part of February, right? I mean, there's nothing really big coming out for a while, so I mean, it feels like that movie could sort of have the box office all to itself for a little while.
Yeah, and I don't even need like a new classic or anything. I just want to see a good movie.
Yeah, and I think people are with you,
Yeah,
that's what they'll be. I mean, geez, who knew Glass would be at the top of the box office for 3 weeks?
I know,
right?
I know.
And again, it's like we said last time. Like, even as somebody who did not like that movie, I'm still glad it did well.
Me too. And I was talking with some people that I work with. This was kind of funny. I went out to lunch with these people, and they're a little bit younger than me. And they're like, "Hey, we're going to see Glass tonight, but we haven't seen Unbreakable. Anything we should know?" I was like, pull up a chair.
Yeah, right.
So I basically told them the whole story of Unbreakable, and I told them Split and whatever, and they're like, "Oh man, that sounds good. We should have watched that." I was like, "Yeah,
That's really funny.
That's funny though." But they ended up loving Glass.
I've been hearing a lot of that. It's that movie is definitely it's been polarizing.
Yeah, but
it's
I'm
polarized
with you. I'm
Glass,
happy.
Brian.
I'm happy people are enjoying it, and I want Shyamalan to keep making movies. So
That's the thing. I'm glad that he's found a model that's working for him in terms of getting his movies made. Even as somebody, again, I have not liked many of his recent movies, but like you said, I'll always be rooting for the guy.
Yeah. What's wrong with us?
What? I know. Seriously. Shifting gears from one superhero universe to another, this is news that just broke today about Disney's future with the X-Men.
Ooh, yeah, this is going to be really interesting, isn't it? This whole Fox to Disney thing?
Yeah, so Lauren Schuler Donner, the wife of Richard Donner, who has owned the X-Men rights under Fox basically since the movie franchise started, is getting ready to hand it off to Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
It's going to be the end of an era. So there's 2 more Fox X-Men movies that are yet to come out. There's Dark Phoenix, which is due, I think, next summer, and then The New Mutants, which is just kind of... Nobody knows what's going to happen to that.
Yeah, that's going to be included with your cereal, I think.
Basically,
at some point next year.
They're saying Hulu at this point.
Okay.
So it seems like nobody knows what to do with it. So
reshoot after reshoot after they adding characters, taking characters.
It was supposed to come out last year, I think, right?
Yeah, that's one where I know next to nothing about this, but just the things I read, it feels like a real
mess.
Yeah.
Basically.
But yeah, this is one of those things where I'd be like, I'd watch a documentary about how they went, through the iterations of this thing.
Yeah, it started as like, it's going to be like a mutant horror movie, and then now it's going to be a mutant Hulu movie. So, but regardless, this has been, I always tell people this. I'm like, like or dislike these X-Men movies, you have to appreciate the way they laid the pipe for the MCU.
Uh-huh.
And it's an achievement. Regardless of what you think of the individual movies, it's from 2000 to now, so almost 20 years. You've had them coming out with regularity, and I would say their hit to miss ratio is actually pretty good. I
agree. Yeah.
But Lauren Schuler Donner is getting ready to hand it off, and so obviously Kevin Feige has this new, motherload of characters, and the question now is who's going to be playing who. And I think it's pretty much understood that anyone who's in the X-Men universe right now is going to be done, except probably Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Right.
But now it's like, well, who's going to be the next Wolverine?
Dude, I
hear Ben Affleck is available, so maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to try to figure that one out.
It's really interesting because, I was talking about this on social media today, and I'm like, who could do it? And people are like, well, they need to go back to the comics. They need to have him be somebody short and hairy, because that's the comic book conception of Wolverine is that he's like a runt.
Right.
And everyone calls him Shorty, and he's, and it's very funny because the point I've been making is like, that's the Wolverine that I grew up with. I get it. Mm-hmm. But I think Hugh Jackman has ruined that forever.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Right? You can't have a 5-foot Wolverine.
Yeah. No, not after that. That is what Wolverine is to a score of people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's going to be tricky. The thought I have is whoever it is, if they're smart, they'll put him in the costume, in the mask, just to differentiate him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
you know what the mask. You've seen it from the old cartoon.
Yeah. You bit out of the tank top, the blue jeans.
It's really interesting because you think about it, like there was no social media back when Hugh Jackman got the gig. And by the way, he was the second choice anyway. But like, what would people have said back then? Like this 6-foot pretty boy. He can't be Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what people would have said. And of course, he just owned the role.
Yep.
It's one of the few instances I can think of 2 instances, Robert Downey and Hugh Jackman, where like they played a character and then they permanently changed the character.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tony Stark now is Robert Downey Jr. The way he's portrayed in the comics and every other, but he was not like that before Robert Downey.
Wow.
You know, and I think Hugh Jackman. Well, I think both of them are in that same boat. You know.
Yeah.
So poor bastard, whoever it is.
Yeah.
I've said this on the show before. I feel bad for whoever is the next guy, whoever the George Lazenby is.
Yeah. Yeah. And just figuring out like a whole new way to differentiate him, and just I mean, if Marvel's proven anything, is that they'll figure it out. But I just wouldn't want to have to go through the sweat to get there.
It's it occurs to me that they've done. I mean, there have been so many X-Men movies. It's almost like what else is there to say? Right. And now, granted, the X-Men comics have been going for like ever. But if you're Marvel, maybe just don't do anything. Just wait. Like you don't need to crank out an X-Men movie. It's not like you're worried about losing the rights. So why not just sit on it for 5 years?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe weave parts of the X-Men mythos into the other movies. Now that
then have that be like your big sort of out of the gate thing, and like you said, like 5 years or something. Because I mean, it's not like their want for slots throughout the year. I mean, they already have 3 movies coming out a year, right?
Yeah. So build up to it.
Yeah.
Because here's the other thing. I didn't plan to go down this road, but it's like the X-Men's whole thing is, we're like sworn to defend a world that hates and fears us, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody hates and fears the X-Men, but they look at the Avengers, they're like, man, they're so awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, functionally, what's the difference? They're all superheroes. Mm-hmm. Right?
Sure.
So like that's something that in the comics they've done for decades, and you just kind of like squint your eyes and roll with it.
Yeah, all right.
But if you're the average MCU watcher, which is far above and beyond just people who read the comics, you're going to be like, well, they're all wearing costumes, they're all fighting robots and shit.
Why do we hate these guys?
Why do I look up to him and fear him? What's the difference?
Yeah.
So they got to figure that out.
That's a very good point. I didn't even think about that. In the X-Men universe, you don't have Thor flying around.
Yeah, right. So the movies have built a self-contained world. Okay, well that's over and done with. The other thing is like, okay, how do you just have mutants suddenly show up? Like, have the mutants been around all this time?
Right.
In the MCU. I mean, now, granted, I mean, I'm not going to bet against Kevin Feige. The guy knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting,
Yeah.
There was a story earlier this week that they actually asked Keanu Reeves. They had offered him the role that Jude Law has in Captain Marvel.
Interesting.
And he told him to piss off. No, I'm just joking.
I was like, really?
Can you imagine Keanu Reeves saying that? Like,
no.
Everything about Keanu Reeves, he's like the nicest guy on earth.
Yeah, you get all these videos of him giving up his seat on subways.
Right. No, but he had to do John Wick 3, so he wasn't able to do it.
Ah, okay. I like that, though. I like the whole thought. I like the idea that he was invited.
Yeah, exactly. And so he's open to it. So I think there's room for him somewhere in here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
But that is a developing story, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
And actually, Brian, while we're talking about the Disney-Fox merger, I mean, obviously we're doing our little geeky thing where we're narrowing in on which superheroes are going to go where. But obviously, there is. I mean, we got to let's take this to a serious tip, Brian.
Okay, let's do that.
There's a lot of jobs at stake. I was reading something like 4,000 jobs, something crazy, are hanging precariously.
Yeah. You had showed me this article from the Hollywood Reporter, and it's kind of it breaks down sort of the nitty gritty of the questions that lie ahead about how 2 mega, movie studios will actually come together as one.
And I guess this has never happened before.
Yeah. It's saying, this is left for things like AT&T and Time Warners, but never sort of like the Paramounts or the Disneys or the. This is a bit unprecedented.
Like a studio buying another studio.
Yeah. And what does that mean for their output? Like, does Fox exist anymore? That was my biggest question. Does Fox even exist anymore? And it sounds like it will. That was to my surprise. Because they said the Fox logo and fanfare will now just be a label under the Disney banner.
Which I think we had said that like I could never imagine that just going away.
I didn't know. Does that mean there's going to be like the Disney logo and then the Fox logo? I guess It seems weird to me now, but when you see it for the first time, you're probably just gonna be like, "Oh, okay."
No, I think it'll be like the Marvel Studios logo or the Disney logo, or the Lucasfilm logo.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Or when we were kids, Hollywood Pictures, Touchstone Pictures, Miramax.
Yeah,
It'll just be that.
yeah. I guess So maybe for most people, it'll be like, "Oh yeah, right, the Fox logo." But going back to what it means for this studio and all these people, this article says in 2018, Fox had 22,000 employees across the globe, and only 7,000 are expected to become a part of new Fox.
That's messed up.
Yeah, that's staggering, and I mean that's so many people, and you got to imagine a lot of those people are, 20, 30 years with this company. Careers.
And but you know what? I'm sure they're sitting there and they're going to be like, well, the Silver Surfer gets to be part of the Marvel universe. So
yeah, I'm certain of it.
it's okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, well, the article does get into.
Papa, when is Christmas? Well, Johnny, I don't know when Christmas is, but the Silver Surfer will get to be on the screen with Iron Man.
And then he's like, well, God bless us, everyone. As like the shadow of the mouse looms over the windowsill, and then they shut the curtains.
It sounds like a Russian propaganda movie, like what you.
I was just gonna say, I know it's like sort of funny, and it's also truly real world, kind of sad. A lot of people are going through some turmoil here, and in this article, it even gets into that. That there's this hush over the lot, and speaking from experience, I was actually there a week ago for a screening, and even at this screening, after like work hours, like you could absolutely feel it in the room. I mean, you had some employees introducing the film, and I've heard it on people's lips, and you also there was something in the air that has not been there previous times that I've been there, and so it's palpable.
Wow.
And I mean, truly, it's one of those things, it's all, businesses making business decisions and stuff, but I know a lot of people over there, and I have a history over there, and truly my heart goes out to these people.
There's a human cost that doesn't get talked about, unfortunately.
Yeah. So it'll be, but it'll be interesting what this does end up looking like. I mean, in the article goes into, this is such a big deal for Disney because this boosts their streaming service, because now they have all this content, and I guess they're going to keep making Fox movies. Usually Fox puts out about 12 movies a year. They said now under the Fox label it'll be more like 4, I think.
Okay. Wow. Really?
Yeah. So there's just so many like ways to look at this. Like you said, I mean, it's kind of a cool thought to think of X-Men back in the Marvel universe, and then it's sort of an interesting. We'll see what it looks like for Fox to just be a label, like a brand, like you say, like a Miramax.
Yeah.
And like, what's the Fox label's flavor?
What is a Fox movie?
Yeah, if there's only 4 of them, I mean, that's going to have some sort of characteristic. And then also there's the part that you don't ignore, that's all the people that are being affected by this. So just so many things to take in with this.
So this is a TBD story we will be following. I think possibly as soon as the end of this month, the merger could be complete.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Moving on to a slightly different flavor of news, and I think it tells you something about where we are at with the Oscars, that this is like, I guess we should talk about this real quick.
yeah, sure.
The nominations for the Oscars were announced last week, and really, this is out of obligation. I feel like we should at least sort of glance at this and see what we think of the lay of the land here. Any surprises in the Oscar nominations that you saw, and certainly in the big categories?
Not really. I mean, this looks about right? I mean, what do we got?
I mean, I would say Black
Picture?
Panther getting nominated for Best Picture, it was somewhat of a surprise for me.
No surprise?
Oh, I would say it was a surprise. I mean, there have been, how many times have they talked about, this sci-fi movie or this superhero movie should be nominated, and it never. I mean, we all said Dark Knight was like the moment to do that.
Yeah. I think. I guess if I take a step back, I'd feel that way. But it's been talked about for so many months now that I'm like, yeah, Like almost like what were they not gonna? You know?
That's interesting. Yeah, and it's obviously there's been the usual brickbats being thrown online at various fandoms like, oh, this shouldn't have been nominated, and and ultimately I look at Black Panther. I don't think it's necessarily the best picture of the year, but I think the fact that it was deemed worthy of inclusion in this category says something about where superhero movies are at.
Oh, entirely agree. And I think it belongs up there for sure.
I think it deserves to be mentioned among the best. I don't know if it is the best.
Oh no, that's what I mean. Yeah, I mean being nominated, I feel like it sits comfortably.
And I think not being nominated will be its prize. I don't see it winning Best Picture.
Right, same.
That being said, I don't know what would win Best Picture. It feels like the winds are blowing in Green Book's flavor in that direction.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. And then Roma, I think there's a strong case for Roma.
I mean, of the two, if it's between those two, I would say probably Roma.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Green Book seems like one of those movies that it would be like Crash.
Yes, I think so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also want to mention with Roma, I think we only talked about it when we mentioned our best of last year, almost sort of as we watched this and we thought it was all right.
Yeah.
But I have to say, it's a movie that has stuck with me, and I have thought about since, and I think it's sort of risen in estimation in my mind.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's something that I could even see myself going back to at some point. So I wanted to just throw that out there. I was talking about it with coworkers yesterday, and as I was talking about it with them, I was like, man, that was a really good movie. I think we were saying that it felt very impersonal in some ways, even though that's what it was going for. And so while we appreciated the beauty of it and the grandeur of it, it didn't really make as huge an impression as some of the other films had. But at the same time, I'm realizing that maybe it did.
Well, if it's something that you find yourself thinking about often, then that says something about what Cuarón accomplished.
Yeah, and it is an accomplishment. I just wanted to mention that. So, and then I think, go ahead.
Really quick, just in terms of things that are worth calling out and appreciating, Spike Lee got his first ever Best Director nomination.
Oh, wow. I guess I should know that. I didn't realize he wasn't nominated for Do the Right Thing.
Right? Like, how does that even happen?
I don't know.
So kudos for that. I was surprised Bradley Cooper did not get nominated for Best Picture.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah, Best Director. I just saw some article too where he said, that he felt embarrassed when that happened.
Well, he felt embarrassed.
There was so much talk.
He felt embarrassed at not getting nominated.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. I think so many people. I mean, you got to imagine too. He's got this team, right? And people are spending all this money trying to push this nomination for him, and then when it doesn't happen, he's probably like, oh, you know what I mean? Like it's like that movie. I worked on this movie with Christopher Guest for your consideration, and it's about making this small independent movie. And there's Oscar buzz around one of the actresses, and it goes to all their heads. Because how could it not? And not even in an arrogant way, but just like, oh, well, my life could change, and what does this mean? And other people and agents try to, put them on all these talk shows and get them to talk up their film, and then they don't get the nomination. And how does that feel?
Yeah. Well, and the full context of Bradley Cooper's quote is not in the sense of like, I should have gotten it, but more like, oh, my movie got all these other nominations, but I didn't do my part.
Right, sure.
So he felt embarrassed for the movie. Like, if I had done a better job, I might have gotten nominated, which is still sort of hashtag humble brag.
I was going to say, because, I mean, if he hadn't done his job, then all those other people wouldn't have been nominated.
That's a good point.
Or the picture wouldn't have been nominated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and I he seems like a nice guy. So
I think the film was worthy of a nomination. I think for Best Director. I think he. So I was certainly surprised, but Spike getting his first nomination is something that's pretty cool to me. Other nominations. This is a big one. Sam Elliott, first ever nomination in 50 years as an actor.
Wow, 50 years.
50 plus years actually, because he's been since even before that.
Is this for the man who killed Hitler and then also killed Bigfoot?
I actually have a screener of that. I need to watch that tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me what you think.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it. But no, this is for A Star Is Born. And man, I love Sam Elliott. So I don't know if he will win. I hope he does. because he deserves it. But I can't believe he's never been nominated.
Yeah, agreed.
And Adam Driver, I was very happy to see him nominated because I loved him in BlacKkKlansman.
Yeah.
And then other nominations that jumped out at me. I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, as you know, that was my favorite movie of last year, so I was happy to see that in the Best Animated Derby. I hope that wins.
Yeah, I would be shocked if it didn't.
It certainly seems to have a lot of positive energy behind it, based on all the critic awards it's been winning. So it seems like that one is a favorite.
Yeah. I think the Annie Awards, the animation awards, I guess Spider-Man sweeped its 7 nominations. So I mean,
amazing. Wow.
If you have people in the animation realms voting for these things, I would be surprised if it didn't win.
Nice. And yeah, so that's kind of what jumps out at me. The Oscar show will be next month, and it will be hostless.
Yeah, just presenters.
So let's see how that goes.
Yep.
And with that in mind, let's take a little break, and we'll come back and wrap things up with some Star Wars news. And we're back, and I hear some music, so I think, Brian, you have some Star Wars news to tell me.
It's time to talk Star Wars news. I mean, this is, we're less than a year out to Episode 9. We've got all these rumors that keep coming up about a title, right? We got them back in December. I was Googling this. We thought we were going to get it in December. Anthony Daniels is tweeting at us this week, telling us something's coming, and we're all excited. And you and I were like, all right, man, we're getting the title today. Talk about it on the show. Didn't happen.
Weird.
So, yeah, so weird. I'm sure it's going to be coming soon. So it could even be coming later this day. But no title to speak of yet.
Although the rumor mill is a pumping.
Yeah. Well, do you want to say what they think it is going to be?
Well, this is apparently something leaked on Reddit, ever reliable Reddit, saying that it will be called Balance of the Force.
Which, it's funny seeing all the reactions to this online, because people are like, yeah, that's pretty good. And I think it is, especially if it's going to be, they keep saying this is supposed to be the conclusion to 9 movies, not just 3. I would think that makes absolutely perfect sense to name it that.
I think the delay in announcing is partly because the original title was Endgame, and then they saw the Avengers title and they're like, God damn it.
That'd be amazing.
It's just like scratched out.
Yeah, right.
The big X there. Balance of the Force, I would not be opposed to it. It's not a particularly exciting title.
Yeah.
But,
What about with an exclamation point at the end?
Done. Sold. But I want it to like, I want the exclamation point to show up as you're reading it.
Yes. Sort of like, I don't know how that would work. It's sort of like whooing, like a shimmer goes through it, and the exclamation point. Yeah.
I think that ultimately we've been down this road enough times where we've, even the title that initially you're like, huh? You just kind of get used to it.
Yep, that's totally true. Yeah, when you Attack of the Clones, you're like, Attack of the Clones. It sounds like a B movie, and I'm like, yes, Attack of the Clones is on TNT. You know what I mean? Like, you just get.
There's a video. I'm sure you've seen it. It's Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman, and they're at like the premiere for what's the Baz Luhrmann movie, Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
And that's when he's told the title of Attack of the Clones.
Oh.
And he nearly like busts out laughing.
Oh, really?
That's really the title. Okay, I guess. Which seems to have been his entire reaction throughout making those movies. Like, oh, okay, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, George yelling at him on a big green screen stage. Look over here. All right.
Look at the moon.
Yeah, sure.
So that title is still to be determined, but that doesn't mean there hasn't been lots of Star Wars stuff happening regardless.
Yeah. Well, actually, I just want to say one more thing about that I thought was interesting. And who knows if this is true or not, but apparently the way that title was found out was someone went through the Star Wars website's code.
Wow.
And found it in the code. And they also found some sort of upcoming advertisement they're going to have about, seeing J.J. Abrams' next movie in IMAX. And I was like, man, like nothing's safe.
I know. That's impressive yet terrifying.
Yeah, because there's part of me too when this wasn't ready for us to record. I was like, "Come on, guys," and then I was like, "They don't owe us anything. They can give it to us whenever they want."
That's true.
But yeah, no, there's other Star Wars things to think about here. Where Disney recently released their quarterly estimates, and it turns out, and this is all going to link back to Star Wars, but it turns out that Mary Poppins didn't perform like they were hoping.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. As of today, February 4th, the domestic total is $168 million.
Wow.
Which you would imagine they were certainly thinking at least over 200.
Yeah.
Right.
I have to.
The budget was 130. Worldwide, it's at 329. And again, I think this is something they were probably hoping would be like a 500 plus. You know.
I think the threshold that they had set for a sequel was 400.
Oh, okay.
So even that's a push.
Yeah, and I mean, we're coming at this. We were fans, right? Or wait, did you see it?
I never saw it.
Oh, okay. I liked it. I thought it was really fun. So that's kind of a bummer, but I guess the armchair analysis of this is that perhaps they should have put Solo out in December, and that Star Wars in December just seems to be the ticket for them. And there's some thinking back, wondering if maybe they did a disservice to both of these movies, releasing them like they did.
That's the thing is that they kept Solo needed some runway, but they couldn't move it to December because they had already staked Mary Poppins there. So essentially, that was the calculus they made, that whatever they might make from a Star Wars movie, Mary Poppins would get. I had said all along that, it's not like these two movies are aimed at the same audience. There's room for both.
Right. Sure.
So I never understood that decision, but, as tends to happen often in life, Brian, I was right. Hashtag should have listened to Zachy. Come on, Bob Iger.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's easy for me to say this now, but I feel like Mary Poppins feels like a Thanksgiving movie. And yeah, Star Wars feels like a good December sort of thing. You get enough time to make us, this has been said a million times already, but you get enough time for us to get thirsty again for some Star Wars. And I think it would have benefited Solo, which ended up with a domestic gross of $213 million on a budget of $275 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Mary Poppins, you pop off at Thanksgiving, and then you let that run through the holidays,
So I don't get it. This is their own damn fault.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brian said in his hoodie, in his chair.
I mean, the shame of it is that these are both movies that, and to be fair, I haven't seen Mary Poppins, but I do trust your judgment. Disney could have potentially dined out on sequels for years to come, and I think both of them are like franchises that got killed in the cradle.
Yeah. 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 Too bad, because I liked both.
There you go. It's a shame. Yeah, well, and there was a rumor a couple weeks ago actually that, and granted this is from like a British tabloid, so take it for exactly what it's worth, but that they might find a way to weave Han Solo back into the saga via a flashback of some kind in Episode 9, and I've been thinking about that rumor because it feels like the people involved are cognizant of the lack of seeing our original characters together again. And that it does seem like something they would want to address.
Yeah, I don't know. It also feels like sloppy patchwork.
Well, what's interesting here is that Mark Hamill tweeted a thing a couple days ago, and it's a video of him hugging Harrison Ford at like a Comic-Con appearance, right? And Mark Hamill said, "This one became much more meaningful when I realized Luke would never see his best friend again, and the odds I'd get the chance to work with one of my favorite actors diminished dramatically."
Right.
And so I quoted that tweet, and I tweeted, "I'm a huge fan of the sequels, but the fact that we never saw our three original heroes reunite on screen is the single biggest regret I have from them." And that's fine. But what's interesting, and Ryan, I sent you this, Mark Hamill himself liked that tweet.
Right.
And it's funny 'cause I had two thoughts. I'm like, oh man, just wait for this to get picked up. Like Mark Hamill hates what the like the usual internet. But the mere fact that he did choose to like that shows that's a bee in his bonnet too.
Yeah.
But my thought is, I wonder if. I mean, he can't. My point is, he can't be the only one who's thought this, and I wonder if, sloppy patchwork notwithstanding, if they are making some kind of effort to address that lapse, and would that necessarily be a bad thing?
No, I mean, if they can do it well, so we're not thinking about that, and the story naturally dictates it, I think we'd all love it.
Yeah.
It's funny though when they mention going back into the archives for this footage and vocal work of Harrison Ford. It's like, well, He's still here. I mean, whether or not you can drag him to another Star Wars set, I do not know. But
I thought that same thing. Yeah, I'm like, Carrie Fisher, I understand, but I mean, Harrison Ford, I think he's one paycheck away. He's busy talking to his dog on Amazon commercials. I think he's free.
Yeah.
Which,
actually, by the way, that was pretty delightful.
So we're talking about the Super Bowl ad for Alexa.
Yeah,
that they got grumpy old man Harrison Ford to show up for.
Yeah, and to say to his dog, I think, I'm not talking to you.
I hate you. Also, actually, another Super Bowl spot that I wanted to mention was for the upcoming Twilight Zone remake.
Yeah, I'm excited. I do not have CBS All Access, so I'm like,
I'm looking forward to. I have access to CBS All Access, so. I will keep you posted.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing what it's like. I'm curious, I mean, you could do like Outer Limits, or you could do like Tales from the Crypt, like these sort of anthology shows with twists and turns and whatever. But Twilight Zone is so singular in its voice, so I'm very curious to see what this new modern iteration is like. And it looks like from the commercial that Jordan Peele will be filling in the Rod Serling role.
Yes, exactly,
as narrator. So.
Yeah, and my kids have watched the original Twilight Zone, so it was very funny watching that commercial with them, because they're like, they recognize the music. They're like, oh, they're doing it in Twilight Zone? And then Jordan Peele shows up, and my oldest, he's like, wait, is this a Key and Peele thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I hate to admit it, but I did think, my brother pointed this out too, when he was sort of doing his, like, I'm a mysterious guy sort of voice. It reminded me of that Neil deGrasse Tyson sketch that he did.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, he has all this footage and time spent with him as a comedian. So it's like any eye twitch he does, even when he's being serious, I'm like, I have to stifle laughter.
That's very funny. So that wraps up this episode. Thanks everybody for listening. And actually, while you were talked about Rod Serling, that's a good segue to the next episode of the Nostalgia Theater podcast, which is going to feature my conversation with special guest Dana Gould, who is, of course, a writer, producer, stand-up comedian. He produced for The Simpsons. He created the show Stan Against Evil on IFC, and he is a huge Planet of the Apes fan. He actually, last year for Boom Studios, he adapted the original Rod Serling script for Planet of the Apes into graphic novel form. And so I reached out to him last year. I was like, man, I'd love to talk about Planet of the Apes with you to celebrate its 50th anniversary. So that's coming up on the Nostalgia Theater Show.
Yeah, I cannot wait to listen to that.
So that's coming up soon. Also, if you're looking for me online, you can find me at my website, ZackisCorner.com. That's ZAKIS Corner. That's also my Twitter. That's also my Instagram. Brian, I know Puppy Dog Pals is back. Anything you want to say about that?
Yeah. Finally, new episodes shown again. My last one, I guess, was the Valentine's Day one, which I was really happy with. It's beautiful. Just, you turn in these words on a page, and then these artists and voice actors breathe life into it in a way you just can't possibly imagine. So it's really delightful for me, and hopefully people enjoy watching it. So yeah, it's on Disney Junior, according to my guide on cable, pretty much all day. So
you can't
check it out pretty much anytime. Yeah.
And you can also, folks, if you have any feedback for us, please email us, moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com, or hit like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast. Also go to iTunes and leave a review, leave a star rating. Every little bit helps. Thank you once again for being along with us on this ride, and we hope you'll join us next time. Thanks.
Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast.